Hey there, Michael Griffiths here, founder of Referral Marketing Guru, and welcome to this week's Get More Referrals Today podcast. Whether you're joining us on your favorite podcast platform on YouTube, Get More Referrals Today, or on our social platforms, hey, good to be with you. I've got something really different, I think, to be able to get through today. And it's all about how do you go from being transactional to being Enchanter in terms of being able to get referrals. Because most people think getting referrals is there's a process or there's a script or it's about doing certain activities. And it's not. And it's what we talk about all the time is when you understand the way the brain works, the neuroscience, the way we are as humans, getting referrals is actually really easy because as humans, we are all hardwired the same way, which means we can accelerate the loyalty, the trust, the bond that we need to have. If anybody's going to do anything to help you, whether it's open a door for you, whether it's pass you referrals, whether it's promote you, whether it's stay with you for longer as a client, there's actually a way to be able to do that and accelerate, influence that sort of behavior. As always, we're not going to run ads, not going to promote things. So if you love the episode, we really appreciate you being able to share it. Right? Who else would really benefit from getting more referrals, from being able to keep their clients for longer in your networks? Share it out to them. 5-star reviews are always welcomed. And if you don't like it, hey, shoot me a message what you didn't like. But at the same time, there's lots of other people out there that you might enjoy listening to. So let's get into this today. Those listening on the podcast, I want you to be able to do this for me. I need you to draw me a triangle. Those people who are watching this on our social channels or on our YouTube channel, I'm going to have already done that for you. So how do we get from this transactional way of being to this Enchanter way of being? That's what I want to get through and talk about. Because getting referrals is not about, well, I just need to do this and this and this and this, or send this script, or just do a good job and ask, as most people tell you. It's more than that. So let's start here. As humans, there are two parts to our brain, the two core parts that I want to talk about. The cortex part is logical, it's analytical. We rationalize things in there. It doesn't really do much other than make sense of things that we are feeling. In other words, it allows us to tell whatever stories we want to tell and makes us feel good. But the limbic part of the brain is actually where the real feeling is taking place. It controls all human behavior and makes all decisions for us, but it doesn't understand language. So when we look at how do you accelerate trust, loyalty, bond, which is what people need if they're going to actually help you in any way, we've got to be tapping into the limbic part of the brain. So at the bottom of that triangle in the red zone is what I would call when people are simply transactional. They're focused more on what is the right script, or they're focused on what is the outcome that I need to be able to do. They're focused on being, I suppose, really in essence, it's about win for me, and I don't really care what happens to you. And you've probably come across those sorts of people. And how did it make you feel? You just, we're not even on the same page. And it's why we always say the 5 closest people around you will be very similar to you. So we've got great clients. We want our clients going and talking about us because they generally will know other great people. If unfortunately we've got dud people around, unfortunately they tend to know more dud people because you don't stay around people who don't make you feel a particular way. So if you're transactional, you probably know a lot of transactional people, but unfortunately that's not helping you. You need to be able to bust through this transaction level. Because to me, when we're transactional, really we're coming from a place of just simply being spammy. It's really hard for anyone to trust you, to see you as the prize, to be able to go, that's a person I want to be around. And if they can't do that, then simply they can't resonate with you. And if they can't resonate with you, then they definitely can't respect you as we go up the ladder. And therefore, they definitely can't be inspired by you. And if someone's not inspired by you because they respect you, because they resonate with you, they can't pass you referrals. They can't be a client, but they definitely can't pass you referrals. Now, that feeling of this person inspires me can change. Just because you haven't inspired that person before doesn't mean you can't do it in the future. And vice versa, just because you've done it to that person in the future doesn't mean that it's there for life. As humans, our feelings, our emotions change every second. So then there's a pro and a con to that. The pro is if you've stuffed up before, doesn't matter. The con is that you've got to keep doing this day in, day out, week in, week out. It's not just oh yeah, done that to that person, feather in the cap. I don't have to do that anymore. Not at all. So from transactional, we move up into the next level, which I would call more ego-driven. And this is what I mean by ego-driven. I was on a call with someone last week, and it's like they had to prove to me how good they were. And whenever you've got to prove to somebody, you're getting into the wrong part of the brain. You're going into their cortex brain, and it's really hard for someone to be able to then resonate with you. So when we get more ego-driven, we tend to have to go, well, how am I going to value add to this person? How am I going to make sure that they can see I can add value? As if that is going to create this bond and this trust and this loyalty between us. They go, well, I've got all of this great content because I'm really good at what I do. I went and I spoke on this person's podcast, or I spoke at this person's event, or I've worked with this person and this person and this person and this person. And it's being done from a look at me. Again, there's only one reason why someone wants to be a referral partner and wants to help you. And that's because of the feeling they get about who you are and how you are. So if you end up leading with ego-driven, it's really hard for somebody to go, I don't know what it is, but there's something about this person. I really want to be able to help them. The thing is, you don't have to prove yourself. And that is what people try to do when they come from the ego-driven part. See, to me, everything below this line, the ego-driven down, is all cortex brain. It's logical, it's analytical, it makes perfect sense, it's very word language based, but it doesn't control my behavior. So we have to get up from the first red zone level, transactional, the yellow amber zone level, where it is ego driven, up to this third level. And this third level is what I would call connection. And people go, well, it's just about building connection. To get more referrals, I just have to build connection with people. So that's what they focus on. They focus on building connection. But the problem is, if you don't know how to build connection, then how are you going to accelerate connection? So people in this green level, this connection level, hey, they do a reasonable job in that they understand they've got to be personal. It's not just about business. You got to know their name. You got to know about them. You got to know what their interests are. And that's so true. But at the connection level, to me, building that connection, the downside is it takes time. Because you're not actually influencing or accelerating how someone feels towards you. So let's come back. Someone needs to resonate with you, to respect you, to be inspired by you. That's why they're going to be simply willing to action. And I think that's important just to say willing to action, because in essence, that's what it is. They have to, those three things have to be in play if someone's going to go from being a prospect to a client. Those three things have to be in play if someone's going to pass you a referral. Those things have to be in play if someone's going to give you an opportunity to speak at a conference, be on their podcast, do a webinar with them, whatever it is. Those three things need to be in play for there to be a willing to do an action. So then when you take the next level, and the next level is someone needs to feel overwhelming trust. They need to feel an emotional bond with you, and they need to feel loyalty. Both ways, that you'll be loyal to them and that they can be loyal to you. Now, that's not a process. You can't get that from a script. You can't get that from a couple of little stepping stones. You can't get that from saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look how good I am. And that's why we love taking people from this transactional, ego-driven space where, honestly, getting referrals is just luck. And it's why so many people go, well, you can't grow a business on referrals. They can't, because they are in this red and yellow zone. This super green zone, this tip of the triangle, the fourth stage up the top, is what I call being Enchanter. Not only is it about personal, it's about personal bond. It's about just being more extraordinary in the moments that we create with the people around us. It is very much a way of being. Now, if I look at all of our clients and go, why are they so successful? It's because they're around an environment that changes the way they think. And therefore, if you change the way you think, you change the actions that you do. You change the actions that you do, you get different results. Now, the shallow conversation is really easy. The shallow conversation where people go, well, I want more referrals, so what do I need to do? It's a wrong question. I want a flood of referrals. How do I need to be? Is the right question. And when you get up from connection to Enchanter, you go from just the odd one or two referrals to as many as you want. You're in control. Because what you've learnt to do is that you've learnt to accelerate and influence the three key things: trust, emotional bonds, and loyalty. And that feeling that someone has towards you. You see, it doesn't have to take time to build relationships. You just have to be better at creating moments that people remember how you made them feel a particular way. And there's an art to that. It's what we call the limbic advantage, and being able to limbic your whole business from top to bottom. That in the end, allows you to have more heartfelt thinking, more influential strategy, magical experiences. But what I want us to be able to focus on right here is to go wherever you are at the moment. And honestly, you're probably somewhere between red, yellow, and green. So you could then just say, okay, I get that it's about creating win-wins. And a lot of our people do understand that it's about creating win-wins. I get that it's about personal and relationship. So what I would say to you is the next level is actually about brain chemicals. That's what excites me. So I want to be a lot more profound with you. I don't think you deserve to have this shallow conversation of just simply, well, here's a script, or do these 3 things and it'll work. Because for the odd person it will, but they're already being a certain way. For everybody else, it won't work. I can give you whatever script you want. But unless I change how you are, how you're being, it won't work. If 2022 is a bit of a priority, in fact, let's not even worry about the next year. Let's just worry about the next month. If the next month is a priority to bring more referrals into your business so you can pick up clients easily, then I want you to ask, how am I going to influence creating trust, emotional bonds, and loyalty with the people who are around me? So that's with your social platforms, with your networks, networking events that you go to, with your clients, with your prospects. Because it's that then gets someone to go, I don't know what it is, but I really resonate with this person. And when someone can resonate with you, they can then start to respect you and respect what you do and how you do it and the results that you get. And that's when then they can start to be inspired by you. And until someone is resonated, respecting, and inspired by you, nothing else happens between the two of you. There's no logic to this. You've probably heard many a times yourself. You've probably done it yourself, where you've simply gone, I don't know what it is, it just feels right. That's what we've got to tap into. And that's why we can accelerate instantly trust, bonds, loyalty that you have with anyone around you. Hopefully that's been super helpful. If you haven't already, make sure you pop over to our Facebook group. It's just facebook.com/groups/Michael Griffiths. Got great trainings in there every single week to be able to help you get a flood of referrals, retain your clients for longer, and stand out above everybody else in your market because of the extraordinary moments that you create. So again, facebook.com/groups/Michael Griffiths. It's in the link in the show notes. And at the same time, if you haven't done our referral scorecard, so if you haven't taken the scorecard to go, how great are you right now at being able to get referrals? So how great are you at being able to get referrals? The link again is in the show notes, but it's just simply going to www.michaelgriffiths.com.au/quiz. Okay, so those watching either on our YouTube channel or across our social platforms, it's up on the screen right now. But those that are listening, it's in the show notes in the description. michaelgriffiths.com.au/quiz. And do the scorecard. At the end of it, I'm actually going to give you a personal email back after I look at your results and give you a couple of ways that I might be able to help give you some different thoughts and different things to think about. And I do that with every single person on the scorecard. If you take the time to do it, I'm going to take the time to give you some feedback and give you some different ideas on what you might be able to do differently. Okay, guys, that's it from me. See you next week. Remember, share the show, get onto your favorite podcast platform, review, because it's why we get to keep making the impact and inspiring more people every single week. Till next time, take care.